Hey guys, welcome back to We Watch Movie. I'm Mike, he's Jay. Not a lot in the way of Halloween news except for a bunch of fucking bullshit. If you guys notice, like around Easter, around April Fools or whatever, there's some Halloween sites saying that trailer's gonna drop on April 15th.
I thought it was true. I didn't.
There's two sites that you can go to that they're gonna release updates from, and this was not one of them. It was like, hint, April 15th. And Ryan Turek was one of the producers from Blumhouse, literally tweeted, he was like, guys, the trailer's not out yet. It's like, I don't know where that came from.
It's called rockingyoursocks.com.
Shit, fuck. It gets hard to wade through the shit, Jim.
Somebody saw it on Pornhub.com. It was like a little thing. It was like Halloween trailer drops April 15th. Like, oh.
Somebody released like a fake video that people were buying into or whatever. But no, the trailer's not. I say at least May. At least May, the trailer's not going to be out too. But in the meantime, Jim Jones, you fucking asshole, you gave all those people that fucking Kool-Aid, you fucking dick.
You were home.
Dan McBride was talking recently about Halloween, and he even mentioned, he was like, the way the whole thing goes, the reason that we're doing it the way we're doing it is because Halloween has become a sort of choose your own adventure sort of deal.
I like those. I love those books.
That got me thinking when I was wearing my thong last night, and I was like, this thong feels good. Awesome. But you pass. What is the best Halloween timeline? Because there's so many of them. We're going to go through each one with you gladly now. And we're going to
Return of the Jedi.
We're going to go through each one of them with you, and then at the end we'll discuss which ones are favorite. So I'll start it off.
Okay.
There are 9 to 10 scenarios that you can go with here. Scenario 1 is
9 to 10.
It's important. Scenario 1 is merely Halloween 1978.
Yeah.
That's the only one.
Yeah.
The movie happens. He gets shot, and it's a really great one to go with. Like, even though there's all the sequels and all this great stuff, if they had left it alone, if that was the only movie, the last shot you get is him getting shot by Loomis, falling off the house, and then he's gone. When they look up, it's not like that parody video when he runs away to the night.
He does a kickstand up.
He's gone, and then you get the camera shots of all the locations, and you can hear him breathing. He's still out there. He might not be human because he got shot so much. Nobody knows. The mystery is still alive in your underpants, and anything can happen. It's not a bad storyline.
And John Walsh walks up into the smoky fog. It says, update.
Update. Mobile, Alabama.
Michael's still missing.
Mobile, Alabama.
I could, scenario 1's alright.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if they did that, though. Imagine if they really
we would never have Halloween.
We would never have a Halloween, and we would still talk about, like, what if they made a sequel? I wonder if the Halloween name and Michael Myers would be as big. Or would that movie be looked at more up there with, like, Exorcist and shit?
It's
as
possible.
Like the scariest movies of all time, which it is.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Alone.
I don't know if this is true. I mean, I wasn't alive in 78, so I don't know. I was alive in 61, and I was protesting, so I didn't have time for horror movies.
You old fuck.
Fuck.
I think maybe people would look at it, like Michael Myers as a whole, as a scarier entity. Because you have the sequels and Busta Rhymes and all that shit like that. Had that been left alone,
What's that?
It's just as classic.
What's Busta Rhymes?
The front crowd.
No, it's gone away.
Trick or treat, motherfucker!
Get it away from my
Michael
face.
Myers ain't a soundbite.
Get on my face.
But I think it would have been looked at maybe in a different light a little bit, with the sequels kind of watered
The
down.
problem is,
possible.
with
It's
Jason,
still just as classic.
I know it is, but Jason, all the Jasons coming out, then you had the Hellraisers, then you had Freddy Krueger. It might have got kind of lost in all these other iconic killers coming out at that time. So
That's an interesting thought.
it is.
It is.
So scenario 2, Halloween 78, the original Halloween, to Halloween 2, when Michael Myers confronts Laurie and Dr. Loomis at the hospital and gets his ass blown the fuck up. That could have been the end as well. That could have been the definitive version. And actually, Halloween 2 and Halloween 1, if you go through some of John Carpenter's interviews, was really one movie. I mean, that they were split for obvious reasons, but that could have been one continuous movie, and that was it. Like, Michael Myers had the last stand with Loomis and Laurie, gets killed at the hospital. But in 1981, people, if they were watching it in theater, like, oh, that was a cool little flick. 2 movies in, we're good now.
If you stop it there and that's your timeline, it's a good timeline. I mean, it's a good way to go. The ending of that is legendary.
If you had just been introduced to Halloween though, and 1 and 2, that was it. Like, there was no other ones. 1 and 2, when the hospital scene was it. It's
pretty great.
I would have been like,
it's like a Godfather 2.
I'm still down.
Or even if those movies were, imagine if there was like one epic movie, that'd be fucking.
Well,
crazy.
because
that'd be crazy
Halloween
sauce.
2, the original Halloween 2 had like all the elements there to be a good ending to Michael, I guess, because you had the antithesis to Michael, which was Loomis, like his Van Helsing to his Dracula, and in Laurie, which was his victim that he wanted to kill no matter what. You had all those elements in one spot, and that could have just been the end. Like, you had everything tying together at that one moment. So, I mean, yeah, I would have been down with it. And he went out in a blaze of glory. Literally, he caught on fire.
It's great in its own right, and then you can sidestep all the other stuff. So that's one way to go about it. No one will blame you if that's your timeline. But scenario 3 goes a little bit different. You got Halloween 78, the original. We're going to count Halloween 2, where he gets exploded, and it's a great ending. You almost don't want to push forward past it. But if you want to, in scenario 3, you also have Halloween 4.
Arguably, some people love it just as much as the original.
You can't include Halloween 3 in any of this, and the main reason why, you could say it's a different timeline, same universe, but the main reason why it gets discounted wholly is because they actually have a clip in Halloween 3 of Halloween on a TV set. Yeah. So that makes that fiction, and it makes it impossible to include that at all.
How do you know that Michael wasn't just buying a mask?
He's just a good actor.
He was doing it.
Unless you want to do the copycat thing, which nobody, thank God they've never done that, except for a little bit in H2. But anyways, so if that's your timeline, that's one. It just ends poorly. Like Michael doing the dance like we showed in that previous video where he just gets shot by a bunch of cops. That would be bad in my eyes, because at the end of 2 you got such a grandiose badass death, and then to have him ended after all that by just getting shot a bunch of times and fall into a well with Captain Surprise Face mask, not the best.
As much as I loved Halloween 4, we both did the commentary for it, and I think overall, generally speaking, most Halloween fans love Halloween 4. Yeah. There were a ton of Michael Myers. They love it. It is a good throwback, Halloweenish feel to the original, and that's why people really get it in their butt and they love it. The problem is the ending to that movie is weak sauce. Like, as far as how he gets killed. I mean, he gets shot a bunch of fucking times and then falls down, the well to Old Man Smithers' secret cave. And, like, I mean, you could say he died, but the fact that you never really see his body at the end of that movie either, and you just see him fall down the well and go hang out with Pennywise for a little while, like, it's not definitive enough to really end it. Really, I mean, it's not. I mean, you could throw that scenario in there, but that would be such a shitty way to end a franchise such as Michael Myers in that way particularly. But that's my opinion. You guys might think that scenario is good.
I think we'll agree on this in that I want Halloween 4 to exist for its Halloween feel, for the Loomis gas station scene. I want it to be included in the franchise, but I don't want it to end there. So now we're playing craps.
Scenario 4.
Yes.
So we're going to be doing, in this one, we're going with Halloween 78, Halloween 2, Halloween 4, and then Halloween 5 and Halloween 6. So Halloween 5 was such a terrible fucking movie. It looked like Michael Myers had just woke up from a nap that lasted 3 years with a shitty mask. His face was half dripping off. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even like Halloween 5 is okay.
There are things about Halloween 5.
There are good things, but overall, wow. But then you get into Halloween 6.
Fix your face!
You get into Halloween 6, which... Because Halloween 5 ends with the dude with the steel-toe boots. And you find out that somebody was taking care of Michael the entire time. And the guy, fucking Wyatt Earp with the steel-toe boots come in. You never see the guy's face. You just know that he breaks them out. And then they have this Dick Tracy moment when he's shooting the cops through the fucking broken, like, blown-out hole. And then Michael's gone. Wow. Okay, so now we've got a Dick Tracy mystery. Where did Michael go?
Which is
Carmen
weird.
Sandiego.
When you're watching that scene and you don't know the future, and you see that, you're like, oh my god, that's fucking awesome. Like,
first,
what does it mean? What do the steel-toed boots mean? What does Bob Seger's turn the page? Like, what does it mean? It's so it's so exciting, and you have to see the next franchise. But the problem with that is they didn't have it in their minds. They didn't fucking Universe Avengers plan that shit. No. They had no idea. They were just like, this movie sucks. We need to add something to it.
And Halloween 5.
So you can't end at Halloween 5.
No, you can't. And that's why Halloween 5 was literally, if you watch that movie from beginning to end, after Halloween 4. And again, Halloween 4 and Halloween 5 pretty much they're the same movie technically, just like Halloween 1 and 2 were. But they did. The writers wrote themselves into such a fucking corner. They had no idea. I remember specifically going to the video store and only seeing Halloween 5. Like 1 to 5. And it took a while to get to a point where they made Halloween 6. And again, we all have gone through this a million times. It was a fan that wrote that shit and they adapted it to a screenplay and made that based on his idea, made it a movie. And thank God for that guy, because he saved, I think he's an underappreciated dude, because he did save that fucking franchise. Because there were like decades of silence. No, it wasn't a decade, but it was years of silence, and nothing was coming out of the studio for Halloween, because they were like, oh, you got to get on that shit, man. I don't know what to do. But anyhow, Halloween 6 comes
Thank God
out.
for the Accods, that's all I can say.
Halloween 6 comes out, and then you get a pretty interesting premise about trying to explain why Michael Myers is Michael Myers. What drives him? What is he? Is there a voodoo curse? Is there a white cell going on at Target? I don't know. Whatever's driving him is there.
There's two scenarios to go with here, and this choose your own adventure line. If you're gonna go all the way to Halloween 6, you're either gonna go.
Shit! Fuck! I drank your beer. Fuck.
That was backwash, man. There's two ways to go. If you're gonna go up through Halloween 6, which I think I would do because I don't want to lose Halloween 6 because it's one of my favorites for all the confusion about it. There's two different ways to go. You're gonna go Halloween 6 theatrical ending, or you're gonna go Halloween 6 producer's cut ending. Now, here's the thing. Either way, it stops here because of H2O, and we'll get to that. But if you go the theatrical ending, then you've got the badass ending of Paul Rudd with the pipe just beating the fuck, going to town on him like a goddamn salami sandwich after you've fucking been starved at work all day and didn't even get a fucking lunch break.
You beat your sandwich.
He's beating the shit out of it, just going to town on him. He's got that green goop shit coming out of him. You got the amazing doctor strobe lights. That's fucking. I love doctors, and I jerk off with strobe lights on all over my house.
I got health insurance.
But
Blue Cross.
That's when you jack off
Medicare B
with a friend. But you can either go either or ending. The other ending, of course, is Michael Myers getting stopped by the runs, and then putting on fucking Old Man Withers outfit, and then walking off down a fucking hallway.
Yeah, I was like, at that point, Michael was like, I quit.
Yeah, depending on which one you like better, the producer's cut or the original theatrical movie, I think almost anybody's going to go, at least ending-wise, with the theatrical ending. And it's also the ending of Loomis, no matter how you cut it.
So you can kind of combine them, because the original theatrical ending of Halloween 6, it's not really he dies. I mean, you just see the mask laying on the floor, and then you hear Loomis screaming in the background. Then the producer's cut, you see why he was screaming and what's going on behind the scenes.
It has to end with 6, because when we get to H2O, the next scenario, all that changes. So you can't stop with Halloween 5, because Michael lives at the end of it. They leave everything wide open. But you can stop with 6. So that's another scenario there.
I'm really loving these scenarios, because I feel like this is the SAT that I wanted to take.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's a choose your own adventure. That's the true shit. If H2O exists in your timeline, then Halloween 4, 5, and 6 cannot.
Yeah. So in this scenario, we have the Halloween original, 78. Halloween 2, H2O. That's it. Just the 3. Just the 3. Just the 3. But you got to think about it. It does make sense. If you go from Halloween 1 to Halloween 2, you skip over 3, 4, 5, and 6, and you go to H2O, the way they played it in H2O is that none of that shit happened. They don't even mention Jamie. They don't mention Dr. Loomis. Well, no, they do mention Dr. Loomis, but they don't mention anything significant.
Jamie. No, I'm thinking Jamie Lee Curtis.
No.
Why'd you name them so fucking close together?
Because they ran out of ideas. But Jamie Lee Curtis, I think maybe that was actually a nod to her. Yeah. I don't know. But anyhow, they don't mention Jamie. They don't mention any of the significant meat of those movies at all, except that Dr. Loomis did exist in all those movies, and he did treat Laurie. However, it always kind of struck me as funny that Laurie never mentioned Dr. Loomis, even in H2O. Like, not one time. Even when she was, like, revealing to fucking Mr. Rapist fucking math teacher.
Because he was just a scary old man that would yell.
Well, no, I don't care! He saved her life twice. But anyhow, not even mentioning him is some bullshit, okay? You got no hesitate! And then you get him getting his fucking head chopped off at the end. Now, celebratory? No. I'm not into that. I don't like that. I think that's stupid. I think
if the series ended there, it'd be a fantastic ending. I think that's a badass ending, man. You've got Laurie coming back as a strong woman.
You're a Motley Crue fan,
she comes back, man, anytime you talk about these killers, like, well, how do you kill them? I was like, we chop their head off. That's the only way to kill them. They can't come back. They're not fucking T-1000. If you chop their head off, they're fucking dead. And this movie had the balls at first to do that. With the ending that she hits him with the van, they have their final standoff. You got the scene where she's standing at the school holding the axe and she starts to yell for him and the music comes on.
Right.
How badass is that? And then at the very last scene, she has that one-on-one moment with him where he reaches out for her, like he's done several times in the past, start to take his mask off, whatever he's done in the past.
Update.
Not this time, cuts his head clean off, into the movie, into the franchise. Michael's dead. He was killed by his number one victim. That's a beautiful ending. I understand that. If you want to stop.
I mean, you could say why it's poetic and why it would work on screen. I just didn't like the way they filmed it. I don't know why. I just felt it was very. Have some respect. It's like.
Is it how commercial it was?
No, yeah.
Is that what bothered you?
Yeah, it was commercial, and to me, in some way, and I know people did like that ending. I know you did, but I'm just saying it felt corny. there was something about it that just felt so anticlimactic. Like, I don't know why. Like, I would have rather them go off a fucking cliff with a goddamn phoenix coming down, catching them both on fire, and then she rising up. And so I wanted something epic.
Then you'd have to make Halloween 8. It would be like Halloween 5.
No, and then he would die.
Just threw some shit in there.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
There was a whale.
I want some Game
Michael
of Thrones
Jackson.
and weird shit. Whoa. Don't be ridiculous. You're being ignorant. You're being ignorant. But now,
I'm
look,
sexy, but I'm hiding. All right already.
I'm in the mood to scam simply because I can. Anyway, look, I'm just saying that I wanted more from the ending.
Okay.
Now, if you had gone with Halloween 1, 2, and 7, if I have to deal with that, we have to deal with that. That's the way it works. And I mean,
It's clean, man.
It wouldn't have been as surprising because if you go from Halloween 2, and then it takes them that long to finally make the full circle. I could say, okay, well, they ended it on the note, it's permanent.
What I love about that timeline, though, is that with the Joseph Gordon-Levitt scene, with him stealing the car and all the shit in between, is that Michael basically for this 20 years has just been randomly like going in houses and killing people, like low-key.
Yeah, he's bored.
He's been doing
He's
shit in
bored.
between. I like that, and you can always...
Like, he's like one of those guys that wakes up on the 31st, he's like, I gotta kill somebody.
Yeah, like what's he been doing for 20 years? He's been killing. So that's one timeline to go with. Now this is a strange one because we're going to go into scenario 7 now. Scenario 7 has H1, H2, H2O, and then if you're going to throw that dirty diaper in, if you're not satisfied with H2O's ending, then you've got to be accepting of Resurrection and Busta Rhymes being the one who officially, at this time, kills Michael Myers for good.
That was the straight Joel Schumacher and Bat Nipples moment
Yeah.
for Michael Myers. That's Loomis saying in Halloween, said, good God.
But that's the last...
Yeah, that
Can't go past it.
Yeah, he gets.
Now you bet too many
all that he did,
hands now.
But
and
I
you
know
got Busta.
Okay,
You got Busta.
I will say, fuck Busta. I feel like I do. The only Resurrection sucks a big old donkey dick from the side of the Sahara. It's so bad. But
you were playing 21. You're like, hit me again. You're like, fuck.
I know.
I got Busta.
I had an 18. Fuck! Why did I do it? That's what they thought. That's what they thought, dude. It's like I had an 18. What did I fucking bet? Now I got a jack and I busted. But no, look. The thing about one good thing about Resurrection, other than the it's the Busta part and making Jamie Lee die like that. Not
The
Jamie,
opening's badass.
Jamie Lee, yeah, but she died. So again, I didn't like the way that Michael died in H2O. I didn't like the way that she died either. It was very anticlimactic to me. Again, it was just very like rushed. It felt very. It felt too clean.
Take that and put it at the end of the movie, though. I think it would have been more legendary.
Maybe.
Where it's just like an opening.
Yeah.
It might have felt but it was a good scene.
Well, you
that
felt
was a good part
in that whole movie, it felt like she was Harrison Ford. Just give me out of this movie. Just give me out of this
She
movie.
kind of looked like Harrison
Yeah,
Ford.
that was awful. But then the only good thing I do like about it is that how they explained that Michael
So
got.
she kissed him. She's like, Chewie, we're home.
That's not the way the Force works.
On her way down, she's like,
Yeah,
all back in darkness.
Greedo shot first. But yeah, look. No, I do like how they explain though how Michael got out of it though. Like by ripping out the vocal cords, and that's why he was doing this.
Yeah.
That actually, I was like, that's pretty cool. That's a good
too.
idea. But other than that, everything else was a shit sandwich all the way down through the fucking filling.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
It's awful as fuck. But if it had ended that way, we'd all be with shit in our mouth for years until this movie, 2018, is coming out. Could you imagine? Like, I would just skip it over. Resurrection will be that dirty nugget that we keep under the table, and we never talk
That's
about.
kind of the question we're asking here today. Technically, he doesn't die because his eyes open in the morgue.
Yeah.
But there's not a movie after that. So if we're going with Choose Your Own Adventure, you got to either stop before 8 or let 8 be.
Let
the
8
perfect
die.
scenario, I think, in a lot of cases would be to just take the first 20 minutes of 8 and then have Michael Myers walk off into the sunset.
Have a short video.
Yeah.
Like a short YouTube video.
That's it.
Yeah.
But that's not the end of the scenarios here. You could also go with, which I don't know why you'd want. No one's going to want to do this. No one's going to want to discredit all the other ones, like choose one adventure. But you could also go with, just for the sake of mentioning it, you can go with scenario 8 would be just Rob Zombie's Halloween by itself, or scenario 9. Which one the fuck would you want to do this? You could, if some people just want to watch the world burn. If you like to smack yourself in the nuts with a fucking rubber band, you could.
If you want to feel like Daniel Craig in fucking James Bond when he keeps slapping your nuts like
If you're that sick fuck, you could go as your only timeline Rob Zombie Halloween 1 and Rob Zombie Halloween 2 with him screaming die and getting shot by a bunch of cops. Why the fuck would you want to do that?
Okay, so that movie is so goddamn Willy Wonka fucking crack smoking pipe off a hooker's ass.
He's a nutbag.
He's crazy.
He's a fucking movie of the week.
I don't even want to pretend those exist.
Those don't exist. No one's gonna pick that shit unless you're crazy.
So
that's all the scenarios. That's the same. So now that we've laid them all out for you, comment down below. Obviously, what is your perfect choose your own adventure of all those scenarios? Which ones would you go with? But to end our video, what's your favorite?
I don't want to do this.
You gotta pick one.
I don't want to. So I'm gonna go with the Halloween 1 through 6 theatrical cut. That's what I'm gonna go. -3. I'm not gonna go with the producer's cut because it's shit. I love H2O in its own quirky way, but I can't put it in because if you put that, if we're based on this list, H2O discredits all the other ones. So you can't use that one unless you're just going to use the unless you're going to go with scenarios 6.
If H2O's in your timeline, then which I mean, let's say this real quick. Like, no. I'm just going to say let's say this really quick. For me, truth at the end of the day, I would not take a single one of these movies out because I love the lore of it. I love how fucking up and down all over the place it is. But in this scenario, we're having to pick a cohesive
out of this list.
Yeah, you gotta pick a cohesive timeline for the sake of this argument. So for me personally, I'd leave even Rob Zombie's H2 in there. I want all these movies to watch and get pissed about.
Yeah,
but for the sake of a cohesive timeline, if you have to pick, if H2O's in your timeline, then 4 and 5 and 6 can't be. It makes it hard.
So you're gonna.
So yours ends with 6.
Mine would end with the producer or not the. What? No runs for me. But I would go with the original cut, the theatrical ending, Halloween 1 to 6 original ending, and then be looking forward to the 2018 remake. However, like Mike said, I love them all. Even the shit ones, even the fucking dirty butt stains, and no one will ever know that I shit my pants in gym class one day. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 and Halloween Resurrection. However, just on this list, I would have to take away H2O, Resurrection, Rob Zombies, both of them.
Right. I think for me, dude, I think that the best, most cohesive storyline, the cleanest storyline is H1, H2, end it with H2O with her cutting his head off. But I agree with you. For me, I can't not. Basically, it's saying, hey, I'll trade you Halloween 4, 5, and 6 for H2O.
I know.
And
let me just tell you something right now. I'm not Japanese. I'm Tanaka.
I can't do that, so I'm going with the same thing you did. I'm going with the end of Michael Myers being him getting beat to death by Paul fucking Rudd.
It's good.
In the kitchen with the candlestick. But yeah, I'm gonna go with that. That's if I had.
It's kind of like being on the schoolyard. Like, okay, I'll give you Larry Johnson. I'll give you Michael Jordan and Larry Bird for your fucking rookie card of Kobe. It's like, are you fucking kidding me? I'm not gonna trade my rookie card of Kobe.
I'll throw in my nuggets.
Okay, now the rookie card's yours because you said nuggets. But yeah,
you gotta steal me an extra pizza tomorrow.
Fuck you! I got the money. What, you poor?
I already got 2 strikes, dog. I can't get caught again.
Fuck!
So that's what we picked. What is your all's timeline? I hope you guys like this video. And when this new one comes out, we're gonna have a whole fucking new timeline going.
We can make this could be a fucking board game.
Yeah.
Like, I think we just fucking fucked you, Parker Brothers.
We watched a movie. Yeah. We watched a movie. We watched it. We watched a movie. Yeah. You know what? We did a review. We watched a movie.